If you were approached with sympathy...
Miss Ferguson.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Captain. You want to know where the Mary Dana woman can be found. Well, before I tell you that, there are one or two things we should agree upon.
Miss Ferguson, Mary Dana is wanted for the murder of her husband. There is nothing to discuss, nothing to agree upon. You say you've talked to her. You say you know where she's at. You'll tell us, and that'll be all.
Make me.
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy, and I'm back again with another good old movie recommendation. On this episode, we are taking a look at 1957's Crime of Passion, starring Barbara Stanwyck. So the premise and plot of this movie, without any spoilers, essentially is Barbara Stanwyck plays an advice columnist, kind of like a Dear Abby type in San Francisco. She helps two detectives from Los Angeles solve a murder crime, and she falls in love with one of the two detectives. They get married, and then she, instead of taking a big job in New York, she ends up being a housewife in the Los Angeles area, and she becomes extremely frustrated with that, the supposed monotony that goes along with that, and the gossip and things, and she becomes discouraged by the fact that her husband, who is a detective, isn't very ambitious in his career. He wants to just do his job. He says hit the beat and live a comfortable life, playing poker on the weekends, which of course now would be board games. But she just starts thinking about ways that she can help him advance his career without him knowing it. And then that starts leading into some immoral behavior, some breaking of some actual breaking of the law, some crimes. And that's the moral question, the moral thrust of this movie is, how far can someone be driven before they will eventually start doing things they never thought they would do? What kinds of things would somebody do just to help their spouse out? And of course, because this came out during the Hays Code, we know how it has to end. That's no spoiler. Unfortunately, that's one of the downfalls or downsides of this movie, is that it's setting itself up the whole time. It's great, it's intense, it's suspenseful. But because the Hays Code did not allow movies to show people benefiting from crime in the end, you know that she's going to have to pay for her crimes. And unfortunately, that's just something that comes to the territory with these movies, is you lose some of the suspense because you know how they're going to end. And they often end rather abruptly. But putting that aside, I think this movie is very good. I think it is worth watching. It is a film noir. Now, some people say film noir has to have a femme fatale, a female character who is evil. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think a lot of film noir has that in it. But I think it's more of an environment and a style, a lighting choice that makes something film noir. They often have crime associated with them, but there's a certain type of lighting that you'll see, and a smoky atmospheres, and just the environment itself can make something a film noir. I don't think you actually need the femme fatale. So that's been a debate with this movie. Is it really film noir? Because does Barbara Stanwyck's character actually qualify as being a femme fatale? And so most people would say she does. But let me know if you see it. Let me know if you think it is noir. I do personally. And let me know if you do think it's because she's femme fatale, or do you think that's not actually a requirement of a film noir? That's an interesting discussion that we could have in the comments. We're moving along on subscription, so I thank you guys so much for that and all the support. I do this for you guys. It's so much fun when you guys are watching the videos and engaging. If you want to sponsor a video, use the email address in the description. If you want to watch this movie, I think it is actually streaming for free right now on Amazon Prime Time, as my mom would say. So that link is in the description as well. If you want to help the channel out, use any of the links in the descriptions I've had to buy something on Amazon. That does help the channel. If you want to support a video, sponsor a video, you can send me an email, like I said, and we'll do whatever you guys want. We'll do board games, movies, music. I'm going to be doing some versus videos coming up where I pit two things against one another just for fun. And I'm doing the 100 subscription challenge video next week. I've been under the weather a little bit, and trust me, You do not want to see me eating something spicy with a runny nose. So that's going to come out next week. I've got some more videos planned for this week. Thank you guys so much. That is Crime of Passion from 1957. Definitely worth seeing. In IMDb, it scores a 6.4, which I think is too low. I think this needs to be about a 7.0, 7.1, right in that you should watch it, but you don't need to own it range. I think it is worthwhile. The movie did not have great reception when it came out, and I was reading some of the reviews that came out in the newspapers, and it seemed like a lot of it was they didn't like Barbara Stanwyck's character arc. I don't know if she must have had a reputation for playing good characters most of the time, because she starts off as being a good character in this and actually has a character arc where she spirals down very quickly. And it almost seems like that was their objection to the movie. They didn't think that was believable, but I think that's the whole point, is can somebody undergo so much stress that it actually changes their character for a time being, and they start doing things that they never thought they'd do. I think that is absolutely possible. So that's one reason I do not have that same criticism for this movie. I think it's paced fairly quickly. All that happens in a fairly short period of time, but I think that's more for a plot reason than anything else. So yeah, I think given a little bit more time, I think it's very possible. So I will not hold that against this movie. So let me know what you guys think. Those are my thoughts on Crime of Passion from 1957. I'll see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay.